Good day, Mustangs. Thanks for joining us for our first show of 2021. It's Wednesday, January 20th, and I'm Akshay Maharaj. In the headlines, a series of firsts. Elementary school's first game night, FSA's first Mustang talks, our first Wednesday at work for the semester, and Picture Day is on the horizon. But first, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next week, FSA is holding their first ever game night for elementary school students. On Monday, the 25th, pre-K, first graders, and second graders will have their game night at 6 p.m. Third graders, fourth graders, and fifth graders will get to have their fun next Wednesday, the 27th, at 6 p.m. too. Zoom links will be sent through email for both nights. It's a new initiative to get students sharing and practicing their public speaking skills, not to mention win some cash. Here's Fatima Safdar with insight on what Mustang Talks has to offer.
The importance of reflecting on personal experiences and sharing with others manifests through the personal connections that are born by doing so. Mustang Talks was specifically crafted to provide an outlet for students to connect with their fellow peers and teachers in a more intimate setting. Using the framework of TED Talks, Mustang Talks can even be taken advantage of as a coping mechanism in the midst of a global pandemic, especially when so many of us are challenged by a loss of interpersonal chemistry and real connection. Here's what Ms. Aga, one of the co-founders of the project, has to share.
I think one of the biggest things that kind of pushed us for this is with the pandemic and being virtual, that loss of connection, right? And I think one of the biggest things about a TED Talk is you have one person holding the stage, managing to connect with so many people and trying to recreate that and help students recreate that and try to build that connection, even if it's not like a one-on-one thing. How can we do that? How can we coach you to do that and connect with the room?
The theme of Mustang Talks is what 2020 has taught me, and the past year is definitely one that we have a lot to learn from. Adversity offers valuable insight, and embracing it is a triumph you don't want to miss out on. As Ms. Oliver reminds us, we can all learn from difficult times.
A lot of us, and I do this too, is once we get through something that was uncomfortable, we just want to keep going and not think about it again because it was uncomfortable and hard. But if you can reflect on that experience and kind of interrogate yourself and ask yourself why it was uncomfortable and hard, I think that's how we learn and grow. And so hopefully, this can be something that has prompt students to go back and think about what was hard about 2020, but what did you take from that you can take forward into a similar situation so that it's not as difficult.
For Mustang News, I'm Fatima Safdar.
Let's take a look at FSA's mission statement: to deliver an educational framework designed to achieve the highest academic results and instill enduring strength of character by leveraging innovation and STEAM curriculums for college preparedness and lifelong student success. For our first Wednesday at work for 2021, here's Isra Hussein getting things going as she caught up with Miss Peters.
Mustang News sat down with Mrs. Beth Peter, a new addition to the Social Studies Department. This year, she is teaching 8th grade American Studies, Honors, World History, and AP Macroeconomics. She shared that working at FSA has motivated her as a teacher after taking a year off.
It's funny because the last year I took a year off because I was just very, very tired from teaching, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to teach, or I was having one of those moments. I've been teaching for a long time and I was just having a moment. And so, and I thought when I got this job, I thought, okay, it's going to be great. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to feel better and everything's going to be fabulous. And it has gone beyond my expectations. I love my co-teachers. I love my students. The administration this is one of the most supportive administrations that I have worked under before. Yes, so getting along great. Everyone's so helpful, and I'm invigorated every day. Like I want to come to school and I'm ready for school, so that's just been fantastic for me.
Mrs. Peter has experience teaching middle school, high school, and even college.
And so I started teaching, survey history, Western Civ, world history, just American history, kind of taught the whole gamut. And I did that for probably 10 to 14 years. I did that. But in between there, I did teach one time in, I think it was around 2000. I taught a middle school class for a couple of years.
Mrs. Peter told Mustang News that her inspiration to be a teacher came in her junior year of high school from her own history teacher. She has been teaching high school for 10 years. Now, this year at FSA, she is also the advisor of High School Model UN and helps with Middle School Model UN. Mrs. Peter said that it's particularly difficult to keep students on Zoom and in person on the same page without a feeling of separation. But there have been some advantages to the pandemic, the main one being that it has helped her slow down and run at an even pace by taking a step back for a recharge and to explore her other passions. Mrs. Peter enjoys horseback riding and actually owns 2 horses. She participated in Georgia State's equestrian team. For Mustang News, Isra Hussein.
It's time to take a quick look at our vision statement. Fulton Science Academy Private School endeavors to be a nationally ranked and recognized school, serving advanced and gifted student populations committed to academic success, civic responsibility, global citizenship, and high ethical values, within a safe environment that celebrates diversity and is nurtured by the collaborative efforts of its stakeholders and the broader community. Mustangs, you have until the end of the month to get picture perfect. On January 29th, all on-campus students will get their pictures taken. On January 30th, all virtual students will get the chance to get their pictures taken too. There are designated time slots organized by last name. COVID protocols will take place during the whole process, and students will only be expected to remove their masks during the picture-taking process. More information on Picture Day can be found in the weekly newsletter. You might want to keep a jacket handy today. January isn't getting any warmer with the high at 56 degrees and the low at 42. Expect the sun and plenty of clouds to make an appearance. Expect some rain tomorrow with the high at 56 and a low at 52 degrees. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, this past Monday, here are some wise words from the minister and activist himself. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. We can't do the first show of the year without a joke, so here it goes. Why aren't koalas actually bears? They don't meet the qualifications. Before we go, it is our duty at Mustang News to help keep you safe. We do this by reminding you to always wash your hands, or use an alcohol-based sanitizer. Don't forget to wear your mask properly, and keep your distance when walking up and down the stairs, hallways, and anywhere inside the building when you're on campus. Before you leave home, check your temperature, and complete your daily Magnus Health screening. If you are feeling sick, stay home. If in doubt about any symptom or procedure, check COVID updates on the FSA website, and please review FSA's protocol. Remember, the first person you need to get in touch with if you're experiencing symptoms, if you were exposed to someone who tested positive, or if you had a positive test yourself, is the school nurse. Stay safe and healthy, Mustangs, and join us again on Friday for another edition of Mustang News. Make sure to tune out and catch some of the new faces joining us here right behind the anchor desk. And don't forget, you can catch Mustang News 3 days a week. I'm Akshay Maharaj, reminding you to be the best you can be. And we are always #Stronger together.